Hello, everybody. Happy last Sunday. So I'm coming to you guys with a message. So as I spoke about something that happened earlier this week, Tuesday, that I was displeased with and kind of hurt by about an individual that I thought that I could trust was betrayed by. So anywho, y'all, like it's crazy because people can know you're going through things, and even with going through things, can hold yourself together and get through it to the best of your ability. And all the time that I've known the individual, there's one time that this person's seen something and they know these things happen, or they know things, people go through things as they should with the certain position that they have, or more or worse, because it kind of questions me as this how this person got this position, or if you don't see these things, you don't deal with this, and you speak about it when it comes down to you seeing it just at hand. But then, like, even growing up, I'm pretty sure I have experienced things, obviously, from family, parents per se. And so I guess that same thing she's speaking about, it's it's just ironic because you have to talk about mental illness, right? Like everybody have their things that they go through. Obviously more extreme than others. Like that's like not joke or lie. Mentally there's all things that we all go through, you know, because life at the end of the day it's a lot that goes on in this world. There are a lot of wicked people, etc. Especially you have children, a lot of things you have responsibility you have to deal with. But it's just kind of funny because to speak about mental illness and to like try to talk about trauma, passing out trauma, and not breaking cycles, but that exactly is what I have been doing. Like nobody's perfect; it's a work in progress. Okay, and then it's talk about light and dark, but I exhibit just that, and you could be both, which I am both. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of weird how somebody can flip the script on you and make you a mockery and laugh at your name, or try to ruin you as a person, your reputation. But then that I know who I am, and I know that God's know who I am, and I'm pretty sure that person knows who I am. So to speak of me in such a way, that makes them very small, because at the end of the day, it's just crazy because, like I said, this person has things that they went through that they're still dealing with, that they're still to this day, that they're older than me, that they're still managing to process, to figure out like how this happened or why, and to talk to somebody about their issues with, and to use medicine for. And there's nothing wrong when you have issues to try to figure out, like, okay, to the best ability, how can I make myself deal with the situation better. And at the end of the day, I know certain things in life, God wants us to go, like, live life without, taking medicine. Like, we're supposed to be doing things in the most natural way. And I understand, because obviously I have in my life, when you're sick, and it's certain things, you really do need medicine for. Unless, like, there are some things, like I said, that could be naturally, that have not been figured out yet naturally, that can help with those issues. But I feel like when you're, say, depressed or stressed or going through something mentally, something other than, and then normally when people take antidepressants, I don't know, say all, they would be considered bipolar. And I can say that because I know that, experienced that with people in my family. But long story short, if this same person that's talking about trauma and passing on trauma, mental illness, and addictions, right, or and repeating cycles, this is the same person that is taking antidepressants, right? Speaking to somebody about their issues, doesn't have kids, because I'm assuming and I'm not judging. At the end of the day, if a person can't have kids, that's one thing. But maybe didn't want to have kids because they were afraid that if they did have kids, that they would in fact be passing down their traumas and continue the things that they went through that they're still dealing with to this day. So to speak on me in such a way where my character, should know my character, know that nobody's perfect, that people have they fall short, they have shortcomings, right? as a say pastor, they supposed to know these things or see these things, but then like to speak about it in a manner in which I was the first individual that when they seen something happen once, then the whole time was a good person. I'm not perfect, okay, but I was this person, I'm that person, but then to speak of my name, it twisted, and it's like, no, you know what? I shouldn't even take it personal because in fact the person is projecting. Because like I said, if you know yourself, you love yourself, you know God for sure, you know, like God knows you. Okay? Because whatever anybody can say about a person, it doesn't really matter because God, if God knows who you are, that really is all that matters. But it just baffling to me because, like, to speak on me or to speak on anybody dealing with certain things in the matter in which, say, I am dealing with, because the fact of the matter is, not only just her, but nobody could deal with the things I have went through or going through and get through it and come out on the other end how I am. Okay? Because the things that I have went through and going through, people do way worse or do, seriously. So I'm just kind of like, y'all just be careful because it's just weird. You really never know a person, you know. Some people like me, I'm real, like, like I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm a genuine person. When there's so much fakeness in the world, so much wicked and evilness in the world, it's just kind of hard to say. It's very sad. It's just like, because, like, what you're not, like I said, not you paint me as and try to, because like, the people, when they know you are and what you can do, then they're going to try to, like, for real, like, that is so true, dim your light and make you seem like something that you're not. But in the end of the day, knowing people be having hardships though, right? So it's backstabbing, it's betraying. But besides that, y'all, like, yeah, like, I'm just like, it's no way. But the same individual, they drink themselves, right? They take antidepressants. They go to somebody to talk about their issues with, okay? So if they didn't do all of that, what would they be? And I'm not even judging, I'm just making a point. But anyway, besides that, y'all, people, it's kind of sad that people will, and not even saying these individuals are miserable, but when people are miserable, they will try their darnest to make you miserable. It doesn't matter what I go through. I'm not saying in the past, we've done things and I've got through things. That's the whole point of growing and getting better. And then, like, let me just go back before I continue. Just talk about passing on and continue things. That is the very reason why I left things behind. Even if it was some things that I couldn't understand. When God says leave things behind that does not serve you, and what I don't understand in this world and this society, and I can't speak for the whole world to say if people are done wrong. I feel like people know way better than they can easily let things go in different countries versus America. So people can know what you go through, right? You can leave it behind to better yourself in you have a child, your child, like, even though it may be hard, even though you be like, what the heck, how I'm gonna do this, but if God knows, he knows more, he knows better, he knows what's best for you, like I said, it might not make sense, but the whole thing, if I wasn't trying to better myself or trying to change the cycle, I would still be dealing with those same people. I'll be doing those things that them people do, or if not, basically I would probably do it every day. So, like, I'm just like, that's weird to say that, because what I'm doing is I'm actually the opposite. Just because people have moments, because obviously the things, like I said, I'm enduring, I went through, you would have looking at me with respect way differently probably, because everybody doesn't know what I went through. But it's crazy though, like, people will use things against you. They will see something one time, and then, like, this is not supposed to be like I said, as a pastor, you would think they would have seen way more, right? They would have many of these experiences or something that goes on. But anywho, yeah, like, back to what I was saying about being miserable. It's just like, people, when they're miserable, they will try their darnest to make you miserable. The people really work on themselves. I can help you guys. I do provide service, guidance, insight. And the thing is, I know a lot of people kind of weary about things, but I have experienced things, so I can help people, and I am genuine. It's not like I'm going to use things against people to hurt them. Like, but if you're attacking them like this in this manner, knowing that I thought you was being different, okay. But anywho, yeah, like, misery loves company. It's very sad. Like, people need to get with God, because I don't know, y'all. It's too much going on in the world. And then another thing is, I think it's ironic, y'all, how I can understand to care about babies or like the youth, but it's so backwards because people could think about babies, toddlers, and kids, and they don't understand. Like it's like people should know, or they should know that people go through things. As everybody goes through things, whether big or small, and they can see. They should think deeper. Like this person may be without whatever because they love something, right? But they can be so concerned about a kid. But if you're so concerned, but that's the thing though. People don't believe in God, and they can't believe in Him how they say they do. Because if I'm in a situation and somebody see me in a situation, like I said, I had to get away from it. But I know there's a God, right? But people judging and looking down like you look like because you have a kid and I don't know if that makes sense. Like, why do you have your kid? And I don't want to be in a situation. I don't want my kid in a situation, but I'm trying to listen to what is best for me, what God want me to do, and what I feel is right for me. But it's like crazy how. But my point I'm trying to make is people can think about a kid and care about kids, but kids become adults. It's like they care enough for people to get adults, so for them to be. But then when people become these same kids turn into teenage adults. When people become adults, it's a different story. Nobody really cares like that. And then it's like the same. If you were caring about these kids so much, some of these kids that grow up care so much about their well-being and all this, right? Which is good. But then they turn into these very monsters sometimes. And it's so backwards. I don't know if anybody ever thought about that. Like, why do people only care about little ones in this situation? Just when you get an adult or something, or you go through things, people flip the switch. That makes absolutely no sense at all. Like, absolutely no sense. So, anyways, y'all, that's what I had to say. It's just like, I'm in disbelief about everything that went down. And like the things that wow, I just can't, y'all. I just can't. But thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and share, and please follow me. Get me up to like 300 followers. My CA will be in the description if you want to support for me to continue to put content out, and for me to provide services if you're interested. I have a little one that I try my best to do for his birthday is next week. So like, comment, and share, follow me, and if you want to support, if you're in the live, most definitely, or hit the cash out. So bye for now.